Social work methods 3, working with community. So first, let's understand what is human society. So a society is a social system. So, syempre, ang society made up of system. Kaya, di ba, as we believe in social work nga, ang tao kay part man na siya, ecosystem, and ang tao mismo is system. So, society is made up of individuals and groups, of course, that interact in a relatively stable and patterned manner. So, kung ang inyong group or ang individuals within your so-called society kay dili stable o pattern, maglisod mo to become a society. So, as a system, na isang parts ang society, ang change sa usa ka part or segment sa society will also affect all the other parts of the system. Next, a society is relatively large. So, if gamay ra mo, dili man siya matawag na society. So, society can be regarded as the largest and most inclusive social unit that exists. And the smallest, of course, we know is the family. So next, a society recruits most of its members from within. So most of the people nga naa sa society kay within ra pud siya makitaan. So it's done through reproduction and socialization. So most members of any society are born to it. So anak ka o Pinoy, so maparted ka sa Filipino society. And then we are also taught the basic norms and expectations of being in a Filipino society. Next, society's members share a culture. So, of course, given that you are in a social system, you must have commonality in the way you live. So it gives individuals the vision and sense of purpose to sustain the patterns of interaction that hold together the society. So individuals are socialized into acquiring ways of thinking, feeling, and acting na parehas sa other members of society or at least similar. Next, a society occupies a territory. So, of course, the society must be part of a group nga ang mga members nagpuyo either in a specific, clearly defined geographic area or at least all. So, now that we know what is a society, so we can now figure out what is a community. So, a community is a system of norms, values, and moral codes that provide a sense of identity for members. So, we are all part of a community in some way or another, whether we know it, whether we like it or not. So, for Felon in 2001, it is a group of people who form a social unit based on common location. So, as mentioned ganina, no, nga na ay common geographic territory. And then, common interest po, pwede, identification, or some combination of these characteristics. Then, for Manalili, he likens it to a balangay characterized by a well-knit community having communal means of living and close kinship among the residents. So, there must be a sense of community according to Manalili. Yeah, a community is also a readily available, mutually supportive network of relationships on which one could depend, according to Seymour Sarason. Si George Hillary Pod, for him, community consists of persons in social interaction with one another within a geographical area and having one or more additional ties. So, this includes the following. One, territorial aspect. If you guys live in the same place, second, sociological aspect na may social interaction. And third, psychological aspect, you feel that there is commonality and common ties between you. So in general, summing up the definitions earlier, a community consists of people who live closely to one another, who interact with one another frequently, and who feel that they have common traits or values that they share. It has an organized way of living, shares a historical heritage, and possesses a set of basic service institutions. What are the different types of community? Natay geographical, people who live in a specific village, town, neighborhood, area, city, region, state, province, nation, or the world na physical boundaries. So, may nga nga the Filipino community, the Cebuano community, community sa barangay ninyo. So, you are a community, a geographic one at that. And then natay functional community, so composed of people who hold common values, share some common function, or express some common interests, such as in education, social welfare, and agricultural, and so on. So, mingon nga. Social work community, so same man mo og function. Or mingon mo nga, educational community, pwede pod. And then 3, identification and interest. Non-geographical communities bound together by common interests and commitments, such as political action groups and religious groups. So, parang mga ang akbayan, mga Gabriela, mga manggagawa. So, they are also an identification and interest community. 4, collective relationships of an individual. So, these are the constellation of relationships that gives meaning to your life. So, for example, friends, neighbors, and even your family is a community. 5, virtual community. So through the internet, not a community of people in Facebook, people in TikTok and Instagram, so on. And then 6, development-based community. So the community is either rural, urban, or urban. So now that we know the types, unsa di ang mga function sa community, unsa may silbi nila. So a system of production, distribution, and consumption. So a community helps each other provide the basic needs of its members and the group. So natay food, clothing, dwelling, transportation, education, and other goods needed for basic existence nga either giproduce sa community or gikuha from outside the community. Second, a system of socialization. So, community must provide mechanisms para sa pag-transmit sa mga knowledge, values, norms, and other patterns of behavior within the members. 3, a system of social control. This requires mechanisms through which conformity to the prevailing group norms are ensured. 4, a system of social participation. So, since na may interaction, na may participation from the members. Often, religious organizations or civic associations provides a means for the members to interact with one another. Pareha ng mga tag-couples for Christ, singles for Christ, youth for Christ. 5, a system of mutual support. So, community is always expected to provide relief and solutions to the members' problems. Sample, kanang natay tayo nabangay within family members, mga silingan na inato, social welfare agencies, and social, civic, and religious groups. So, what is the study of organization? So, let's define. Organization is defined as the orderly arrangement of group effort to provide unity of action in the pursuit of a common purpose. So, organization is very much about arranging something, no? Nga naa siya unity pagkahiusa tungod sa pareho nga hinungdan nga nung napurma siya in the first place. It is the unification of individuals and or groups for the purpose of brotherhood, mutual assistance, cooperation, and capability in dealing effectively with their common needs or problems. So, different purposes nga nung mag-organize, natay power, self-determination, participation, and or social transformation. So, why do people organize? People unite based on their concrete situation and problems. Mag-organize sila because individual strivings ang iya-iya nga pagpaningkamot dili man enough para masulbad ang ilahang common nga problema o pagsulbad o pagkuha sa ilang mga common nga objectives. So, whereas if mag-organize sila, the more the merrier, di ba? Ika nga. So, when they are organized, they can solve many or all of those problems. So, now that we know what is society, community, and organization, we can now look at the different authors' definitions of community organization. So, Murray Ross defines CO as a process of identifying problems and needs, prioritizing them, formulating solutions, and implementing them through cooperative and collaborative efforts. Nga mo resulta kuno sa improved capacity sa community nga makasulbad sa ilang problema. So for Arthur Dunham Sad, CO kuno is the process of matching needs with resources and as a conscious process of social interaction concerned with 3 types of objectives. So din hito ang task goals, process goals, and relationship goals. So for Rono, CO is the mobilization of force around real or created conflict to force communication and movement. So Rono puts an emphasis in controversy as a tool for organizing. So, lain sa silang definition, but similar in thought, nga na collaboration involved ana. And of course, there must be movement, mobilization, and change. We also have from Angelito Manalili, who defines CO as a people-centered process that revolves around people's lives, experiences, and aspirations, and is geared towards continuing capability building, self-reliance, and empowerment. For F. Landa Hocano, also a Filipino author, defines CO as a deliberate effort in dovetailing social welfare activities designed to meet certain problems with community welfare resources. So for UP, They define it as both a process and method of raising people's awareness about their reality, moving them to action, and mobilizing their resources to respond to their needs. Okay, so naa siya scientific method of problem solving. So what are the objectives or frameworks of CO? So CO is both a process and a result. No? So, ngayon tag community organizing, proseso na siya. Resulta po is ang community organization. It's also considered as a radical approach in bringing development to the community. B. CO as power. By helping people nga makarecognize sila sa gahom nga naa nila, we bring about the future secured nga naa sa kamot sa mga tao mismo. So when people recognize that they have power, you're also enabling them to realize that the future is also in their hands. 3. CO as conflict. So discontent is viewed as a positive ingredient that can trigger community actions, or related to Rono's definition of CO earlier. No nga, ang discontent or controversy can be used as a cause for conflict. No? D. CO as praxis. It is a complementation of theory and practice. So, ang paagyan is you plan, you think, you look, and then you do. E. CO as conscientization. So, related to Paulo Freire. So, it is the process in which humans who are not recipients, di nila sa tigdawat of knowledge, but are already knowing subjects, achieve a deepening awareness of the social-cultural reality which shapes their lives and their capacity to transform that reality. So, related to praxis, it is reflection plus action. So what are the values of CO? 1, a commitment to democratic processes and goals. So democratic meaning people are involved in CO. 2, the right of a client community to self-determination. So sila mismo ang choose on the direction of their community. 3, belief in the capacity of people to change. 4, belief on the innate dignity of the individual in the community. And 5, the commitment to seek social justice. So what do we assume when we do CO? 1, we assume that changes in which individuals, groups, and communities determine their own destiny in a democratic process have a better chance of enduring than changes that are imposed. So, ang mga kausaban ko nga mismo ang tao, ang client, ang gusto mahitabo, mas better ko og chance nga maglugay ni nga pag-usab compared sa kita ra nga mga social workers ang magbutbuot. 2, readiness to change is a variable which affects the potential and the rate of community change obtainable at a given time. So, ang pagkaandam sa tao no nga mausab, usa ni ka variable nga makaapekto sa gyud sa pag-usab ug kapaspason niini. 3, skills in participating in democratic process can be taught and learned by individuals and groups. So, when naanad man gani ang mga tao nga dili tunggo ng ilahang mga side, ang kaning skill sa pag-participate, pag-conduct og democratic nga process, kay pwede ni siya makatunan sa individuals o grupo. 4, society can provide ways to achieve maximum compatibility of individual and community interests. So we assume society has the power to conduct its own dealings nga in a way nga maka-achieve ang individual o community o compatibility. 5, social welfare provisions, services, and programs can enhance human welfare and prevent and reduce social ills. So we believe in this. And then lastly, planning, coordination, and integration of social welfare provisions are by individuals. Meanwhile, ang social ills, kay since interrelated man ni siya, kay interdependent po ang social welfare provisions. So according to Arthur Dunham, nato siya gi-mention tulo, di ba? Ganina katong task, process, and relationship. So unsa man na siya. So task goals is concerned with concrete tasks to be undertaken nga makamit og specific needs and people's aspirations. So ang paagyan ni kay for example, natay assessment of the community through data gathering. So this is already a task goal. So to conduct an assessment of the community. To interview with families and leaders who live in this community. Already task goal na siya nga naman kinahanglan mo gyud nimo siya buhaton ka para makamit ka sa specific needs of the people. Then second, process goals, concerned with the process of helping people in a community or group strengthen their quality of participation, self-direction, and cooperation. Ang concern ani nga goal is to help people grow and develop to prepare them for those specific roles in community building and development. So example activities ano mga team building, mga capability training. Ang pag-motivate ani sa mga tao mao ang tumong sa process goals. Third and last goal is by Danham gihapon ni, so relationship goals. So focus in changing certain types of relationships and decision-making process in a community by diffusing power to a wider base. So the more people there are in a community, therefore mas ma-diffuse ang power according to this goal right here. So CO believes in participative leadership rather than in an authoritarian leadership since people's participation develops enlightened citizenry. So let's look at the history of CO in the Philippines. So first of all, Spanish period. So naatay kaning mga resettlement and restructuring. So when the time came nga naabot ng mga Spanish, so na sila yung mga gipang resettle. So gipang balhin nila ang mga people from tanan daplin dagat, gibalhin nila into poblations, right? So separate indigenous communities were consolidated into centralized pueblos. So at the time, wala man tayo nahug nga unified Philippines, each area lain man all communities. So giusa sila and then they created pueblos or towns, altering traditional structures. Because of that, naput the impact of faith and feudalism. So ang relihiyon na gi-introduce sa mga Spanish deeply affected the local social fabric. Nausabang kita, no? So the autonomous, self-reliant barangay system kay gi-change na siya into a feudal system, which caused a lot of widespread oppression and exploitation. Kay di man imo to naandan. And then social dislocation and maladjustment. Rapid colonization caused severe issues including poor sanitation, forced displacement, family conflict, and personal maladjustment. Tungod kay paspas kayong ang part ni ipabalhin sila sa laing lugar nga dili nila ginaandan, so naay mga issues like these. So next is ang early welfare institutions. So Pius and Comenderos recommended and organized basic assistance for needy Spaniards and natives. Nag-create sila og mga almshouses, hospital, asylum, and reformatories para sa mga pobre, nasakit, tigulang, o mentally ill, and children. So the Spaniards or the priests also established parochial schools starting in 1565, beginning with the parochial school of Cebu, now known as the Santo Niño nga School. Welfare delivery approach during this time, early welfare provisions were dole-out oriented with people required to queue for assistance. So, anytime ang idea to sa social welfare and CO is just kanang geographical and paghatag lang, no? Very kanang taphaw. So, local leaders from balangays across Tondo, Pandacan, Polo, Taguig, Navotas, Bulacan, and others joined forces to expel the Spaniards. So, sa leadership ko ni Magat Salamat, nakakuha sila mga alyansa sa Borneo ug Japan for a planned revolt. However, na-discover man ni katungod na ni traidor nga Pilipino rapod. Tungod ani, nagpasaka ang Spain og mas taas nga tax. Pag-abot na sa American period, nung gibaligyan nato sa Spain, nga sa Treaty of Paris, ang focus na sa Amerikano kay ang pag-coordinate sa mga private ng mga welfare institutions nga natupod ni adtong Spanish era. Igi-place sila under the supervision of the Insular Board. Tungod kay daghan kay epidemic during this time. So, sunod, the Women's Hospital of Manila, founded by Whitelaw Reid, became the first institution to receive direct governmental support. And later on, the Philippine General Hospital was established in 1908 to address burgeoning public healthcare needs. Napuntay pag 1930, no, ang kaning mga girls, the ladies, Asociación de Damas Filipinas was organized by the wives of members of the First Philippine Colombian Club. 1915, Legislative Act number 2510 created the Public Welfare Board. And then 1917, the Associated Charities of Manila was founded to centralize charitable institutions under a community's chest model. So somewhat after sa American period, dati Commonwealth period, so Teddy Roosevelt Jr. undertook the reorganization and integration of all public health and welfare agencies. So Frank Murphy also introduced modern concepts of social welfare and public health to elevate the health standards of Filipinos. So professionalization of the field, so the application of scientific methods enabled social workers to effectively handle expanding national programs. Nanay pag-eskwela, no? Second, social legislation. So si Manuel L. Quezon, then President of the Commonwealth, championed progressive legislation like anti-usury laws, 8-hour labor law, minimum wage laws, and land reform initiatives. So this era marked the leadership of Jose Fabella, the father of Philippine social welfare. Asuncion A. Perez, also a grand lady of Philippine social work. So the organizing methodology during this time is CO took the form of public demonstrations and close coordination with sympathetic town leaders who advocated for the poor. After sa Amerikano na po yung mga Hapon, so the Nurse Reserve Corps and various hospitals attended to critical health and welfare needs. The women, like the angels of charity as they are called, stationed themselves alongside roads to distribute food, clothing, and multivitamins to the marchers of Bataan. The U.S.-Philippine War Relief and Pratra were organized to deliver post-war aid. So ang Hukbalahap na-revive sa morale and fighting spirit of the masses during its leadership and membership from various grassroots organizations. Now, the President Manuel Rojas reorganized the Bureau of Public Welfare into the Social Welfare Commission via EO 94. So, nahimong Social Welfare Commission. The Philippine Association of Social Workers was created on November 12, 1947 and incorporated on April 18, 1948. So, after na sa kaninga time na mga 1948 to 1960, nagyan pa yung mga kagubtanan. So, mingon ta nga, there was social political unrest. So, the period was marked by armed conflict, economic instability, and political crisis. So, counterinsurgency and welfare, si President Elpidio Quirino appointed Ramon Magsaysay as Secretary of Defense to address the Hukbalahap insurgency, of which he was successful. So, he was able to negotiate with Luis Taruk, then a kanang katipunero at ano siya or something, basta kanang na siya role in the rebellion, established the People's Liberation Army, nga mo ining surrender kang Ramon Magsaysay. So, PACSA was established in 1948 to provide targeted relief assistance. EO 369 merged the Social Welfare Commission and PACSA into the Social Welfare Administration. SWA na siya. Urban challenges during this time, mas nagadaghan ang squatter as one of Manila's most pressing social problems. Between 1952 and 1953, ang social work nakagain og formal recognition sa PWU, Philippine Women's University, UP, CEU, and UST. And in 1956, Magsaysay created the Presidential Assistant on Community Development na position. So, pag after na ni Magsaysay na ay declaration of martial law si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. ni adtong September 21, 1972 through Proclamation 1081. Okay, which was on September 21, 1972. So, ostensibly citing threats from the NPA, this dissolved Congress and suspended the writ of habeas corpus, or they produced the body before kapataganong hatol, freedom of speech, and civil liberties. So, at this time, laganap ang state repression. So, ang mga progresibong grupo at organisasyon ay kanang humarap no, sa mga severe state na repression, bringing conventional CO efforts to a halt. So, niining panahon na dili pa kayo focus na sa CO nga kanang locality, kay tungod, daghan pa siya kay issue sa syudad. With the notable exception of the Zone 1 Tondo organization or ZOTO. So, at this time, ang CO is church-based and NGO resistant. So, despite Marcos's authoritarian rule, church-based programs and NGOs continued organizing communities, such as the Philippine Economical Council for Community Organizing, or PECO. No? So, they advanced the refinement and grassroots implementation of CO frameworks. Conscientization and advocacy. So, politicized NGOs utilized structural analysis to raise critical consciousness, leading to the rise of the basic Christian communities. And post-martial law. So during the subsequent Aquino admin, ang mga local nga political allies nag-co-opt sa resources meant for the people, rendering agrarian reform largely unfulfilled. So after that time, we have Fidel V. Ramos. So this is when he wanted the Philippines to be the tiger of Asia. So his focus in CO and development this time was driven by globalization and a technocratic push to pole vault the Philippines into becoming a newly industrialized tiger of Asia, RAR. So ang key strategies launched the Social Reform Agenda or SRA to address poverty, but community-level initiatives were often overshadowed by market-driven policies. So gamay pa kay role ang CO during this time. So nga naman, so may contradictions. Land reform faced massive setbacks as prime agricultural lands were aggressively converted into buildings. So next is kang ERAP, Joseph ERAP Estrada, or as his slogan says, ERAP para sa mahirap. His CEO and development focus was characterized by populist development based on chance, spearheaded by programs like JEEP or Joint Estrada Executive Legislative Program/projects. His strategy was the heavy reliance on patronage politics, dole-outs, and populist charity, so paawa effect sa mga poor. Moving forward, so the history of CO now with Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. So the focus was on a paper boat governance strategy, combining Ramos's style of economic liberalization with Arab's style of populist safety nets. So Gloria was actually the only and the first DSWD secretary to also become vice president and president in the Philippines. She promoted economic empowerment, framed strictly as an individual investment mindset. And she deeply entrenched patronage politics and systemic dependency, masking structural poverty behind macroeconomic figures. It was followed by Benigno Aquino III's win, or Pinoy as we colloquially call him, in the Daang Matuwid mindset. So it was anchored on the moralistic governance framework of a straight path, emphasizing institutional transparency, anti-corruption, and bureaucratic reform. He channeled social welfare and local development largely through CCP or conditional cash transfers, which we now call the Pantawid Pamilya Pilipino program, or 4Ps, and state-managed poverty alleviation schemes. He was plagued by legislative scandals, however, surrounding the misuse of the Priority Development Assistance Fund, or PDAF, also called pork barrel, which sparked widespread public outrage and grassroots cynicism over elite-driven reform. And then the newest one is Rodrigo Duterte. So it was characterized by the populist political branding of tapang at malasakit, or courage and compassion, which they prioritized law and order, infrastructure through the Build, Build, Build program, and state security over traditional community-based social development. So CO wasn't given much attention during this time. There was massive physical infrastructure push alongside aggressive punitive state interventions, and there were contradictions, which are severe human rights violations, widespread EJKs under the war on drugs, and systematic shrinking of civic space, making community organizing and grassroots advocacy perilous for activists and marginalized sectors. Kaya kung mag-siyo-siyo ka, nga tayo makait, irentag na yun ka. So now that we know that what is CO, what is community development? So if we remember from the social change discussion, development is a positive change. So it is a popular term most often used to denote improvement of the environment, but in some UN literature, it was used to mean the process by which the efforts of the people themselves are united with those of government authorities to improve the economic, social, and cultural conditions of the communities, to integrate these communities into the life of the nation, and to enable them to contribute fully to national progress. CD as a CO model are also referring to the efforts to mobilize the people who are affected by a community condition into groups and orgs to enable them to take action on those social problems that affect them. So the goal is the solution of the specific community problems and needs, which would redound to the development of the community and benefit its citizens. So ang responsibilidad sa community development naa sa katauhan. So Alinsky's conflict theory explains why people organize. So people organize because there is a common need, a common issue that they have faced. Self-reliance is the major goal of community development. So ang goal sa CD is para ma-reliant or ang mga tao kay mo makabarog sa ilahang kaugalingong tiil. Okay, so CD goes against Rostow's theory of industrialization. Kaya according to Rostow, ang development daw kay economic growth. So CD goes against that. Kaya dapat sa development, apil man ang tanan. So apil ang gender, class, ethnic relationships, and other aspects of life. So CD actually is not a welfare approach, but it does equate to the general welfare of the people kung na CD. So CD is community development, right? But widely, development work refers to a range of activities undertaken that integrate SpecSeg factors aimed at transforming the structure of society for the benefit of the least, the lost, and the last. So SpecSeg meaning social, political, economic, cultural, isa pa ning SEG, and then na po gender. So activities under development work include organizing, lobbying, coalition building, so on and so forth. So what are the basic elements of CD? First, the community is approached as a whole. So dili nimo siya gina sector lang. Community development gani meaning tibuok community and not just individuals too. So the educational organization process moves from an awareness of problems to a definition of problems. So apit sa pa-organize, aside sa kay bawta, no, nga natay problema, kay bawta unsay mga problema nato, but nanay definition nga anong naingani ni, and also na-study. So activities undertaken correspond to the basic needs of the community. So of course, community development meaning ang inyong mga gipangbuhat is related po siya o para po siya sa community. Community development activities are thought of in long-range terms. So wala may development nga pinaspasay. Widespread participation and involvement are sought with decision-making taking place at the lowest level. So bottom-up approach ni siya. So natin participation and involvement sa mga katauhan from the lowest level upwards. And sila pud appeal sa decision-making, di lang sila tigdawat. So resources of both governmental and NGOs are used. Both professional and lay participation are sought and gamit siya whether professional ka or dili basta ka part ka sa community. With that said, the identification, encouragement, and training of local leaders is a central feature of community development programs. What are the core values of CD? 1. Collaboration and inclusion. Of course, wala may community development, di ba nga? Wala nang tinabangan ang mga tao. So, teamwork is crucial. Number 2, meaningful participation and change. So, ang imuhang participation as a community member should be meaningful and should induce change. Kaya kinahanglan man ka for a greater purpose. Number 3, respect. You must respect your community and also ikaw nga ni-enter, respect pud ka para respetuon pud ka. 4, strengths-based. So the purpose of COCD is to strengthen the community through the strength that they already have or looking for strength. 5, integrity. No good work can be accomplished without honesty. And 6, hope. Change starts with individuals, then it grows as we work together with hope for a better future. What are the principles of CD? Community ownership. Dapat ang mga members, they feel ownership in the things that they are doing. Number 2, empowerment. So you enhance people's ability to control their lives and you encourage them to meet their needs. 3, inclusion. So tanan people maka-contribute no matter how diverse they are and all their contributions are valued. 4, lifelong learning. Learning is integrated into all aspects of CD. 5, access and equity. Of course, the programs must be accessible and welcoming. And 6, social action. So internal and external factors that impact on the local community are analyzed through collective action. Number 7, advocacy. Act with or on behalf of community members. So, dili pwede nga kanang sila-sila lang, kamo-kamo lang, or kita-kita lang, dapat tanan dyan ang uaka niyo. 8, networking, linking, forming alliances, working with others, and also related to that is self-help. So, while nag-network ka, nag-self-help pud ka. So, individuals are to come together to share information and knowledge para maka-reach sila sa ilang goals. Culturally safe and affirming, of course, it's a unifying force and builds community capacity and resilience. Mm. 12, support socially conscious democracy. So the members are engaged in learning and democratic processes to value citizen-informed decisions. 13, builds healthy, sustainable communities. 14, ubiquitous and builds adaptive strategies, manages the inevitable and expected consequences of change. Community leadership is fostered from within the community, so participatory planning ni siya. And 16, action-oriented research requires constant research nga evidence-based. So what are the different models of community development? According to Rothman, we have number 1, locality development. It is a process of deliberative intervention at the grassroots level for the purpose of improving the environment and the people's social political functioning. So it's about creating people and organizations. Demonstrates the reversal process in that instead of the programs starting from the top and then ihatag na lang siya sa mga tao, ang process starts from the grassroots, so bottom-up approach. Emphasizes people's involvement in decision making, in the development of community plans and projects, in implementation, and in the sharing of benefits. So ang mga tao dyan ang maglihok ani. It requires the organization, the putting together as a system of individual and group relationships and interests, because of a collected concern, nga may common concern, and nag-concern mo enough to do something about a common problem. So the moving spirit of LD is participation. Nga, ang primary aim niya is social change. Second model is social planning. So efforts directed toward integrating the different action systems of the community with other systems of the local community and or with extra community action systems, efforts aimed at bringing about reforms. So pagbago in attitude, policy, and practice of large private and public agencies, including legal, functional, and operating systems. So according to Gilbert and Speck, social planning refers to the organization of a community action system composed of individuals, groups, or orgs to deal with social problems found in the community. So nani siya duha ka components kuno, ang socio-political process, ug ang technical task of identifying the problem areas. So, as a process policy, Alfred J. Kahn suggests that social planning should contain the following elements. 1. Research, value analysis, policy formulation, programming, measuring, and feedback. And si Kahn pod, according niya, na kunoy mga outcomes, new policies, program and policy coordination, service integration, innovation and programs, choices in priorities, and administrative decisions. So, through planning na ay mga pagbago. Third and last model is social action. It is the individual or group activity designed to influence a change in social policy, maybe formal or a written statement by an org or agency, or pwede informal, handed down from generation to generation as custom or tradition. It is aimed at the individual, group, or organization responsible for the said policy. It is based on the belief nga ang birthright sa tanan katawhan mao ang responsibility and privilege nga mo attempt to mold the environment in terms of their personal and societal values. Mao ni siya ang systematic and conscious effort exerted by the worker, leaders, and concerned individuals and people to influence the basic social conditions which have given rise to social problems. So pag-usab sa current status quo tungod kay nag-cause man ni og problems. So what are the models of community development strategies in social action? Number 1, social brokerage to increase participation. So, ang shared nga problema, makalid ni siya sa pagbuo o usa ka informal nga grupo. And in their cooperative attempt to solve the problem, the members learn how to meet their needs through group processes and cooperative action. 2, integrative mechanisms to strengthen organizations. A loose organization working for a community welfare cause can be more effective in its social action if other integrative efforts and resources could reinforce its own. So, coalesce. Number 3, social protests to support social movements. So, muna ang pinaka-popular nga social action strategy in our contemporary scene. In fact, social action is commonly perceived as very much associated with this strategy. So, pag kanang protesta. So, what are the different CO activities that can be involved? No, so nasa tay from top natay government agencies, corporate social responsibilities, faith-based institutions, international social developmental agencies like World Vision and so on. Napunta from top left, political orgs, civic orgs, NGOs. And then natay from down left, advocacy groups, people's orgs, community-based orgs. And then sa right down, extension service, social entrepreneurship, and cooperatives. So mayon kita sa left side, karamihan tanga leaning towards the left, no, or leftist. It's more on mga liberalist, Democrats. And then ari ka sa right, it's more on katong mga economic-based development ilang idea. So organizing approaches, natin number 1, issue-based. An approach which revolves around issues or problems that are A, felt by a significant number of people, B, require the people to negotiate from a position of strength in numbers, and C, have a high probability of being resolved if collectively acted upon. So, ang advantages aning approach is that ma-conscientize nimo ang people, they become aware of their issues. You also expose them to the reality of the oppressor and oppressed relationship. Second, you crystallize the meaning of power for the people. So, who holds the power? Why do they hold the power? Who should hold the power? How should power be used? And so on. Number 3, brings the people in the mainstream of struggle through the participation of national issue advocacy. 4, breaks the inferiority complex of the poor by organizing them with less externally and internally generated funds. Second approach is CO as power. If people don't think they have the power to solve their problems, they won't even think about how to solve them, according to the maker of this approach, Saul Alinsky. So, community organizing is aimed at achieving power for the powerless. So, through the process of CO, people learn to overcome their powerlessness and develop their capacity to maximize their control over the situation, and so that they can place the future into their hands. So, Saul also created rules for radicals. First, the organizer must first overcome suspicion and establish credibility. So, kamo sa siguro kung naimo enter sa inyong community nga di nyo naman kilala, tapos trying to change things, magduha-duha sa gyud mo og salig. Number 2, the organizer must begin the task of agitating, rubbing resentments, fanning hostilities, and controversy. And 3, the organizer has to attack apathy and disturb the prevailing patterns of complacent community life where people have simply come to accept a bad situation. So, kumbaga, pagpupukaw sa damdamin ng mga katauhan. So, unsa may organizing approaches sa CO as power? Number 1, power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. 2, never go outside the experience of your people. So, whatever they experience is your basis. 3, whenever possible, go outside of the experience of the enemy. Strike where di sila kaibaw, di ba? And then 4, make the enemy live up to their own book of rules. Pakainin mo sa sinasabi nila. 5, ridicule is man's most potent weapon. 6, a good tactic is one that your people enjoy. So, of course, try to come up with a tactic nga ka ng bet yun nila. And then 7, a tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. So, kapoy na po kayo, dugay kay siya mahuman. 8, keep the pressure on with different tactics and actions and utilize all events of the period for your purpose. 9, the threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself. 10, the major premise for tactics is the development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure upon the opposition. 11, if you push a negative hard and deep enough, it will break through into the counter side. And 12, the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. 13, pick a target, freeze it, personalize it, and popularize it. The third approach is the church or faith-based approach. So this is used by organizers who work within the structures of a church. This process utilizes the impartation of religious or spiritual teachings and the imperatives of faith. So unity as children of God is stressed in addressing common issues, needs, and aspirations. So naay mga ginstilan sa mga participants nga ang spirit of paghipanaghiusa needed in confronting the forces that threaten the harmony of creation. So basic ecclesiastical communities, or what we call BECs, is a strategy to development and social transformation that promotes grassroots participation that is faith-based. So, ang starting off point ani are the people themselves nga kasagaran wala pa na bunyagan, kumbaga unevangelized, deprived, and oppressed. So, in the task of organization, ang mga BEC is able to go through a conscientization to journey together in making themselves economically self-reliant. So, what are BECs? Number 1, they are small communities nga mga members are in unity and solidarity with one another and with their pastors. They have a strong sense of belongingness. 2, the members share the word of God and are guided by regular catechesis. 3, the communities gather around the Eucharist and have a vibrant celebration of life in the liturgy. So, priestly worshiping communities siya. They share not only their spiritual concerns, but also ang material. So, ang ilang poverty o ang ilang pagtuo leads them to involvement in action for justice. And then 5, they emerge among the poor and they empower the poor. The next approach is the socio-economic based approach. Very simple, organizing of the marginalized sector into self-sustaining and self-governing cooperatives and association. Yeah, ang goal lang yun ani is so that they can be socio-economically sustainable. Next is the Baranganic approach. So according to Agrinelda Nalmida Miklat, barangays were left without a choice but to implement programs and projects handed down to them as it is their only way of at least getting some form of services and funding. However, kanayong mga programs and projects kuno may not be their priority need, thus lukewarm attitude towards its implementation in their respective barangays. Kaya di man na mo lang kinahanglan. No, so an enabling method used by change agents wherein the existing barangay structure as a facility is developed to identify the community's needs, to formulate their own plans based on their own people's expressed needs, and prioritize them and design them to be comprehensive and integrative of all efforts in the community. Okay? There's a realization that one effective way to bring about social development is to use the barangay as the smallest political unit, as conduit and venue for development program initiatives. It highlights the role of the barangays in community development. So my philosophy is a Baranganic approach. Number one, development can only come about when there's active participation of the people themselves. Two, the promotion of social welfare is not the sole responsibility and concern of the government alone, but is shared with all sectors in the community, whether they are public, private, or religious. And then the Baranganic approach values active participation of all stakeholders in the barangay development process. Kaya nga naman ang tumong sa BA seeks to develop people's capacity in the barangays for planning, problem solving, and decision making by assisting the Barangay Development Council. So as a locality development CO strategy, ang BA mag-start sa immersion, social analysis, problem ID, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Whereas social action, mag-start mo awareness raising, and then mag-form mo og PDC, no? The Barangay Development Council, which can serve as the advocacy group, and then you mobilize the community. Next approach is people-centered CO proposed by Angelito Manalili. It puts people at the very center of development, viewing them not as beneficiaries, but as the prime movers and decision makers of their own destiny. So it's about capability building, critical awareness, and empowering marginalized communities. So for Karina Constantino David, the typology of CO is a critical framework that categorizes community organizing philosophies and methodologies. We have apologetic, welfare-oriented, and status quo sustaining. It's more about giving, pag-maintain lang gid sa kung unsay nasugdan. Second, liberal, reform-oriented, focusing on incremental improvements and self-help without necessarily challenging structural inequalities. And last, liberative, transformative, and conscientizing, aiming to dismantle systemic oppression and empower the grassroots for structural change. Meanwhile, a gender-responsive CO approach is focused on integrating a gender lens into every phase of community organizing to address systemic gender biases, patriarchal structures, and women's specific vulnerabilities. Okay? Grassroots CO, bottom-up community mobilization driven by ordinary residents, somewhat related to the people-centered, but it's more of a bottom-up. So not just centered, but sila gyud ang main character ani. So collective unity ang goal, to pool meager resources, voice grievances, and execute self-help or advocacy campaigns that individuals could never achieve alone. So collective action by community members drawing on strength of numbers. So entry into the community, muna ang first step to community organizing. You must know the clarity of purpose between agency, community organizer, and the people in the community should be ensured through meetings. The existence of problems around which the organizing process can start, determined through initial dialogues, ocular visits, and existing documents. So it is also based on the community's desire for change and willingness to work with the organizer. So these are the guidelines when you enter a community. Number one, you recognize the role and position of local authorities through courtesy call. Two, ensure your personal appearance, speech, behavior, your entire self adopts the lifestyle that they have. Choose a modest dwelling and avoid raising expectations. Now we can start with the first step na good proper. Step one, integration. It is the establishing of rapport with the people in a continuing effort to imbibe community life by living with them and undergoing the same experiences they do. So why do we do this? And that is because we try to immerse ourselves in the community to get to know the culture, history, economy, and lifestyles of the people. Because when you know how they live and you live the way they live, you are able to know what it is they need, what it is they have, what other resources can we draw from, and what other problems do we have, what goals do we have. So the method is done by participating in the social, economic, formal, and informal activities of the community. So you participate in their activities, mag-house to house ka, you talk with them, and it should make the CO learn to respect the people's values, lifestyles, and capacity to struggle. So the removal of bias. So next is the social investigation. So social investigation is a process of systematically learning and analyzing the various structures and forces in the community. So now that you've entered the community, your goal now is to figure out um unsay ka nang work study bitaw nimo. So you conduct a community study. So ang SI mag-result na siya in a community portrait, which is a scientific collation and synthesis of the data gathered. So you create a community study, a phase in a long process and a process in itself. So it comes at the beginning. So no community study is ever complete because the community does change over time. So why do you do this? First, you want to gather data on the geographic, economic, political, and social cultural situation of the community to identify and understand the problems and issues that need immediate and long-term solutions. To identify the classes and sectors present para makadetermine ka kung sila mga interests and attitudes matod sa mga problema, bahin sa mga problema. Next, to identify the potential leaders. Kinsay makita naman nimo gamay well nag si SI pa ka no kinsay mga pwede nimo magamit nga leader. Next is to determine the correct approach and method of organizing. And then E, to provide a basis for planning and programming organized activities. Because of course, the social work is data-driven and data-based man ta. So kung wata kay baon sa data na to, wata kay ba how to help the community and how to plan, right? So the method of your SI, it must be gender sensitive. You must take into account the differences in the experiences of the women and the men. Data gathering methods can be done through face-to-face interviews, fact-finding meetings, observation, and examination of secondary data like documents. So the people cannot be expected, of course, to open up their problems to a complete stranger, which is why the step 1 or integration is so important. Kay kinahanglan nga makaila sa sila nimo and makasalig sila nimo para sila mo share kung unsa gyud ang ilang mga gipag-experience. So, participatory approach sa SI involves the residents in collection and consolidation of data. An effective method in raising consciousness level nga naman. Aside from the fact that you as the organizer, you're able to know unsay mga problems sa community, it also lets the people become, even sa pakigtabi lang nimo, no, simple lang nimo nga pakigtabi, they become more aware nga kanang bitaw sa laging ani bitaw ni sa mo ano na bitaw may problem sa tubig or nabita ni problem among mga konsihan no di jud magpakabana na mo wa jud paki kay you ask them, and that's when the time nga may nahinay sila conscientize kung unsa di ay ang mga naa nila by thinking about it. Step 3, the problem identification and analysis. Muni ang proseso sa pag-define, analyze, and rank sa community problems and needs according to their importance, urgency, number of people affected, and probability nga masulbad ni siya through community mobilization. So, unsay objective ani? So, una, identify the common felt need, no? Identify first what is commonly felt among the people, because this is where the next organizing step will evolve. So, the general approach is to make the step participatory. So, aside sa mga organizers, ang mga people po mo participate sa pag-identify towards the issue that they are themselves facing. Common guidelines sa pag-conduct of PI, list all problems nga ni-surface sa katong social investigation and community study nimo, analyze the problems based on the scope, origin, other efforts that have been done in the past para ma-try ning address forces that maintain, increase, or eliminate the problem, and consequence analysis. So force field theory by Kurt Lewin is very useful here. So which problem is most urgent or widely and seriously felt? Which problem is the most manageable? So muna yung mga questions nga pwede mo i-ask during this time. Step 4, tentative planning and strategizing. So planning is the process of identifying the goals and translating them now into specific activities to meet community needs. So ganina, nag-identify tag problem, karon nag-planning na ta. So now that we have a study and we also know what the problems are that the community would like to address, we can now plan, we can help now the community define our next organizing moves. We can identify the issues around which the initial organizing process will evolve, identify the resources and opportunities that we have, study the blocks that exist that stop us from utilizing the resources, and formulate any possible solutions and give specific activities. Following Ana, mag-create a core group. So it is a process of bringing together the most advanced indigenous leaders among the leaders identified during the integration and social investigation stages. So, diba, initially nag-come up ng mga leader ron, kasi mga leader ron dire. So then, that is the time na mag-create a core group. So this step serves to ensure the delineation of the role of the organizer from being a leader. So, ikaw nga community organizer, you have to make it clear to them, you're not the leader. Kanang igora ka nag-organize sa ila, so the leader must come from them. So you do not assume any leadership role, such as presiding over meetings, no? Pwede siguro sa start, pendesad, but eventually you will have to form a core group so that they can represent their own selves. So it can also serve as a training ground for democratic and collective leadership. Democratic meaning ang mga tao mismo ang mulihok. You can also build your leaders' potentials and self-confidence, and you can make the succeeding organizing steps participatory and people-led. So ang paagyan is conscious efforts are made to identify potential leaders, and then the following criteria can be used. They must be from the poor sector, well respected by the members, and has relatively wide influence, aware of community issues and concerns, they want change, they're desirous of it, and they must be willing to work for it. After nimo makakama og core group, proceed na ka to step 6, groundwork. It means to go around the community and motivate the people on a one-to-one basis and through informal group discussions to do something about the common issues in the community. Usually it takes the form of agitation, kung diin ang mga energy sa mga tao, gi-raise to a level nga eager na sila nga mulihok. So objective ani nga step, ang organizer kauban ang core group mangita sa participation sa mga katawhan sa ilang community issue identification, analysis, planning, and resolution. So the method, together with the core group, dapat naamoy data, info, and skills needed to make the process work. So ang organizer must have skills in effective communication, rapport building, persuasion, and handling of different personalities during this time. So step 7, community meeting. It is a step in organizing where as many people as possible in the community are gathered to formally discuss the issues raised and how they want or they think they can address this. So objective for this one is to create an agreement among the community residents on their common needs and problems, as well as what actions are necessary and tasking sa nila para maka-resolve sa issues. So, ang pamaagi ani is ang core group identify og key tasks, like for example, facilitating, presiding, introduction of objectives, presentation of the community situationer, and documentation of proceedings para ma-explain sa ilang mga silingan. After ana role play, so especially for social action, means to act out the negotiation or dialogue that will take place between the leaders of the people and the target of the mobilization. So ang tumong ani nga step is para makaandam ang mga tao, especially ang leaders sa pag-execute sa dialogue o negotiation phase nila. Acting out what is expected to happen. Step 9 is mobilization. Actual community action undertaken to address and resolve the identified community issues ganina nga steps. So para sa mga issue-based organizers, pwede ni siya through negotiation or dialogue coupled with pressure tactics. But if mayroon ka nga locality development mo, pwede po nga mag-conduct na mo sa inyong mga projects and so on. So your objective during this step is to mobilize, target concrete gains in terms of issue resolution, builds the confidence of the people themselves, and makes them aware that in unity, they will be empowered. Step 10, evaluation. So patapos na tayo. Process of discovering by the people what has been accomplished, what has been left out, and what nyo na-achieve, and unsa pa yung mga buhaton. The process of learning from the strengths and weaknesses of the finished action. The aim is to extract your learnings on how to better your next mobilization and serves as a training opportunity. Last step, step 11, is reflection or identifying and analyzing the lessons from the finished mass action. Its message regarding community actions and other points. Ang tumong ani is to lead to the recognition of the people of the relevance of forming people's organization and their commitment to pursue social transformation through collective actions. So for Marasigan naman, pag 1992, duha ka phases ang CO. Number 1, pre-helping. This involves formulation of indices for selection of areas to be helped, identification sa 15 target area, barangay, or community nimo. Second, you assign the workers to the target areas. Fourth, third na to ganina. Fourth, establishment of initial linkages between people and resource systems. Fifth, gathering initial information about the community, no? Of course, knowing the community best. And getting people sanction and commitment nga motabang sila. Ang helping phase naman, na ay daghan nga phase, sub-phases. First, exploration and identification of the problem phase. So, mag-gather pa kag info, situation, so sa mga feelings sa community regarding this, mag-conduct kag analysis or diagnosis nimo, you identify the problem, what do they need, identify the strengths and weaknesses sa community, examine kung unsay cause and effects ani niya, identify the problem-solving patterns of the people, and then you rank the needs and problems. Second sub-phase, planning the solutions. Now that you know what the issues are, you agree on the goals of the community. You identify the activities and strategies to be done. You agree with the people on role and responsibilities. Identify resources kung si kinahanglan na ninyo sa timetable for Gantt chart for checking, and formulate indices for success. 3, planning the solutions. Pag-organize sa community working groups. So, nag-assign na ka nila kinsa ang ilang mga unsa lang mga buhatonon. Implement your action plan. Utilize available resources and strategies, and then generate and organize your resource. Lastly, ang evaluation. So, you examine the results, no? You check your objectives and success indicators, statement of your findings, documentation, and lastly, you either modify, transfer, or you terminate. So for Marasigan, organizers do not do it, but they bring people together to do it. We are connectors and mobilizers. So ang CO worker, daghang nga nag-role nga gina-play. Number 1, enabler. You enable the community to engage in establishing goals, objectives, and setting priorities. Pwede pud ka ma-helper. Abangan nimo sila nga ma-identify silang problems, kung silang nilbuhaton. Pwede pud ka mahimong guide. So you guide the community in the process through difficulties encountered, and then initiator, taking action through education, demonstration, and other techniques and strategies. Broker, acting as broker between groups, the client, community, and outside resources. Pwede pud ka mahimong advocate. You advocate the just cause of the groups. You are a consultant. You provide expert knowledge and information. You can be an intervenor, intervening for on behalf of the people for their participation and involvement in the formulation of SWPPS. Number 9, you are a planner as well for the social welfare, social services sector in planning bodies. And you are also a researcher. You make research on current problems, needs, and issues as basis for action planning. So what are the functions of a CO worker? Number 1, fact-finding, to secure and maintain an adequate factual basis for sound planning. So everything in CO must be done with facts in mind. Dili pwede nga magkakahaka lang ka nga ari hagbuntis diri. But no, you should be able to back it up with evidence. 2, program development. You initiate, develop new programs and services, and you modify or terminate other programs. 3, establishment of standards. You establish, maintain, and improve social welfare standards so that people are able to recognize what it is that they deserve. 4, coordination, to improve and facilitate interrelationships and to promote coordination between organizations, groups, and individuals. 5, education, to develop better public understanding of welfare needs. You educate the people, of course. And lastly, support and participation, to develop adequate public support and participation for activities.